Welcome to the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent.
Good afternoon, Steve. Welcome back to Friday at 4.
Hey, Chuck, thanks. How are you doing today?
Today has been a very interesting day, very busy.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
Well, not busy for me, but busy for the roads, and I had to get home, and yeah, crazy.
As long as it's busy and it's productive for somebody, then it's worth it. When it's just busy work and it's not productive at all,
Yeah,
um, yeah, okay.
yeah. Yeah, yesterday was a very productive day. I stayed home. My back was bothering me, so I stayed home
Hmm.
and got a lot of work done. I edited the website a lot. I moved some things around, rewording, and
Hmm.
I like what I've done, and it's good.
Oh, good.
So I got a lot done.
Nice
Yeah, worked on some more podcast stuff. So yeah.
stuff. I did a podcast, has to be 4 months ago, and I was told you'll get it in January. 4 months. You'll get it in January. So towards the end of January, I wrote back a note to the person saying, I just found my notes and it says January. Now, my version of January is the beginning. Apparently, their version of January is the end. Okay.
Or 2026, 2027, 2028.
Well,
They didn't tell you what year,
that's a good
right? They just
question.
said January.
Yeah. So then I get the message that says, we emailed it to you last week. And I said, are you sure? Because I just checked my mail and my spam and wherever else, and it's not here. And sure
I think
enough, it's later, it showed up.
it showed up. Wow. Amazing. Well, sorry about that. Man,
You know what? It's good. I have it. I'm throwing it on the website. I'm throwing it on YouTube.
great.
Yeah,
Great.
it's all
Awesome.
good. Yeah, yeah.
So how's the day going? What you got for us today? And me and the audience, what are you going to entertain us with?
You and the audience. So, so I was on a larger company meeting for Universal Wealth. I believe it was Wednesday. And one of the owners runs the meeting. And he said, today's topic of discussion is called Take the Keys.
Oh,
And we all looked at each other going, okay, can you give us a little more on what that means? I mean, you could take the keys off a piano. I mean, what are you taking the keys off of? But what it comes down to, and the way the whole thing played out, we have our life that we build, however that is, and whatever that means to everybody. Take the keys means take responsibility, take accountability. You control to a large extent what you do and what you get in return for your actions. So, one extreme of that says, I do nothing, but I want in return. I do nothing, but I want to make six figures. I do nothing, but I want a good job. I do nothing, but I want a fancy car. The last time I checked, it doesn't exactly work that way. But again, that's my experience. I can't vouch for everybody. Um, but the
some people have it
that's
like that, right? Hey, some people have
it,
it like that. Yeah.
it's great to have. I mean, if
Yeah.
I could use Monopoly money, I'd be rich.
Oh, absolutely.
I knew I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Um, but the other side of the extreme says, I know what I want. I realize it's going to take time because depending on what it is you're looking for, you're not going to make $1 million today. You may not own that fancy Ferrari today. You may not have that $1 million mansion today. But what are you doing day by day to move yourself an inch at a time down the road? And one of the things that we have, the sayings that we have in this company, among many others, is 1%. Get 1% better every day. Just 1%. Um, who is it? I forget what his name. Ed Milet wrote a book, The Power of One More. And what that means is if you're in a gym, do one more rep, one more push up, one more something, run one more lap around the track, lift one more rep, do one more sales call, one more something. So that's the 1%. What are you doing today? And it doesn't have to be monumental changes because most people can't, won't, don't want to, whatever.
Right.
But do that one little thing. Um, if people have a fear of picking up the phone and calling somebody, phone a friend, get on the phone and just call them.
Yeah.
Role play with somebody, have them call you and don't be nice. Train that person to be able to handle a nasty phone call. Not that you want one, but not everybody's nice.
Right.
Um, how do you handle objections? Let the person start changing the mindset just that little bit every day of, okay, Chuck calls me up and he says whatever he says, which is not nice. Rather than scream, rant, and rave and hang up the phone or answer back, take that split second, sit back for a second and say, okay, is Chuck just having a bad day today? What's really behind what he's saying? And then try to respond back to it. So, Chuck, what makes you say X? Ask the question back. Because sometimes Chuck may be expressing an opinion of something he heard from somebody else, but really has no basis for what he's saying. He's just repeating hearsay. So by saying back, hey, Chuck, so you said the sky is green. What makes you say that?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
One thing
So
we were taught in customer service with the company I worked for, one of the biggest things was paraphrasing with empathy. So you empathize and you cover. Let
correct.
me make sure I get this right. You
Mhm.
paraphrase what they're calling about. Apologize, go into it. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And that's part of changing the mindset. That's part of taking the keys, taking control. The example somebody gave was um, the car is the steering wheel and you are the gas to make it go. Which way do
Hmm,
you want to go? Do you
interesting.
want to go left, right, straight ahead, backwards, up, down, sideways? Where do you want to go? And you determine how fast or slow you get to that point. That's taking the keys. Take control of your life. What do you want to do? And what are you doing to get to that point? There was some study, and actually, I've heard there are several studies like this, that when people are, and this may sound gross and I apologize, but when people are on their deathbed and they say, what's your last thought? A huge number of people say, I wish I did. I wish I said. It's the regret of not doing. Now,
Regrets. Yep.
part of that could be
Yeah.
you just didn't want to, didn't know how, didn't take the initiative. But don't get to that point where you're too old, too weak, too broke, too something
Yeah.
to do it because you may not have the ability in any shape or form to get it done. So while you're still young and you can, do what you want to do. Again, legal, moral, ethical, but do what you want to
Yeah.
do. Take that step, try something, put your toe in the water.
That's one thing I tell my kids all the time. Uh, being 55 years old, I'm a little bit past, middle age here. And I tell them it went by fast. Don't waste a second, do
Correct.
what you want today.
Hmm.
Life's so short. Just do what you want to do because it's going to
Well,
go by so fast.
yeah, we've had part of
Yeah.
that conversation. I know we've had before.
Yeah.
When you're young, You want it, and again, when I was young, way back when, and the age to drink was 18 and all that stuff. So we're in middle school, we're in high school, and all we wanted to do is get to be 18 to drink, to vote, to do whatever we could do at 18. Then you get to 18, and all of a sudden your best years are behind you. All those carefree years. Now, if you go to college, now you're under pressure to get grades because now you have these student loans that's sitting over your head. Or if you don't go to college, you got to go out and work. Then you hit the real world. You meet somebody, you may or may not get married, you may or may not have a kid, buy a house, all those things that now take away your freedom because it's no longer me, then it becomes us with a partner, and it becomes the family with child or children. So, yeah, while you're young, while you still can, do it. Travel, uh, buy that car, whatever. But do it when you're young because you may not have the chance when you get older. And again, you don't want to be in that I could have, should have, would have, but didn't.
Yeah, it's cool that as you're talking, I'm going replaying in my mind. I'm looking back at some things that I have no regrets for the things that I've done and the things
Mhm.
that I should have done differently anyway. But some of the things that I did, I'm glad I said yes. I'm glad I made that decision because
Yeah.
I look back at that as you're talking. I'm replaying in my mind. I was in there looking at myself in that airplane, looking down over water and looking at. It was amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that I did those things. Going across country. That's some part of me. I want to travel. I want to see this country and the world.
Yeah.
That's something that I want to do before I die. It's on my list.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of things you should, first of all, I mean, you should if you have the opportunity or make the opportunity, but also consider we get older,
Yeah.
things are going to get more expensive, inflation kicks in. Um, the economy, there can be any number of reasons that you may not have the opportunity a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road.
Yeah.
So if you can do
Mm.
something now, you
Yep.
really should.
You got it. Yep.
Um, yeah. So that was the whole thing with Take the Keys. It's your life. How do you want to live? So somebody, and again, I've also heard this a couple of times. If you, and I don't mean you, I'm talking general statement.
Sure.
If you had to write your, I'm not sure if the right word is epitaph,
Eulogy.
eulogy. Thank you.
Eulogy.
I was in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But
At
if
the E.
you,
You good start.
it starts with an E.
Right.
If you had to write your eulogy today, what would it say? And if you don't have anything to say, you haven't lived enough. If it doesn't have what you want, do you want it to say, Chuck traveled the world? Awesome. Do you want us to say Chuck was a generous person and helped other people? Do you want it to say Chuck helped nobody because he was self-centered? What do you want that to say? So look at the end and work your way back. And every day put that, again, that 1% towards what you want to do.
Yeah.
Go
That's
to
very
school.
cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I never thought about that. I always looked at it as, um, people talk about being better today than you were yesterday and
Hmm.
continue. I'm always about, we talked about this. I'm always about being better
Mm.
this morning today than I was this morning and hours and minutes and seconds.
Yep.
I'm just hard on myself like that. I want to be better in minuscule time because that's just I live like that. It's just that's how I live. I'm very fast paced,
That's okay.
and yeah, and I want to be able to do things now that I didn't do this morning. That I think
Okay.
about it because I come up with ideas so fast and things can hit me so fast.
Hmm.
I write it down, I put it on my task list, and I try to get it done, make it
That's
happen.
okay.
You know,
Task lists are never done
yeah,
because you have five things you want to do today. You do, maybe you do one, depending on what it is. Maybe you do one, maybe you do two. You
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow, you have three left, but you're adding three more.
And as you're talking about this, I'm looking at my task list now, and I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11. Well, the list goes on. 20 things that still are not checked off my list. And my list has probably over close to 60 or 50 items on it that I've been working with. And I add to it daily, you know? So, yeah,
So the way you take a list is, let's say you use Excel. This way you can move things around and resort. So if you end today with 50, tomorrow something may happen and you may reshuffle the list. So it's not a static list. You're not just continuing to add to the bottom and you work off the top. You
yeah,
do the new list and then you reprioritize every day. What do I have to get off that list today? And that's all you work on is to get
yeah,
the item or items done.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And yeah, and don't always look for the easiest, quickest things to get done because those may be nice to say, oh, I knocked off five items off the list. But so what?
Yeah,
I mean, if I cut my toenails, I trim my hair, which is about 30 seconds. But if you do things that are nice, quick, easy, who cares, nice to haves, but you're not doing that critical item that could get you that new job, could make you money, could do something, you're really not doing what you should be doing. You're only wasting time. So reprioritize for the most critical things and get those done first.
all right. And not to go off track with the task list and the to-do list, all that, but I've learned too that make sure you do the things that are going to push you closer to your goal
Hmm.
first, because there might be some things that you can put off for a while, but you want to look at your list and find what are those things that need to be done
Yeah.
that are going to push me towards that goal, you
Right.
know? And I'm guilty of that right now because I have some bigger goals that, I'm not doing the things that I want to do to push me towards that goal. And I'm glad this podcast happened because it gets my mind, puts me back in that place where I got to put that RV back on top of my list. That's got to be on my priority list.
Yep. I was working on something. Um, I got it last. It was an Excel spreadsheet with a whole bunch of names that I needed to do something with. And I got it last Friday and I needed to get it done by last night. And I did a little bit Saturday, a little bit Sunday, a little bit Tuesday. And now it's Thursday and I'm going, I got to get this to him tonight. And instead of spacing it out and doing what I should have done, I crammed yesterday for like 3 hours to get it done, which is okay. I got it done. But because I didn't plan it right, my own stuff that needed to get done didn't.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
spilled into today, which killed my day today.
Yeah.
But that was
I want
my
to
fault.
talk to you. I want to talk to you about that offline. I really want to talk a little bit about some prioritizing and goal setting because I think you can help me with this.
Okay.
I want to figure out the path, how to make it happen. I think you can help me with this. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. There'll be a bill in the mail, but don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just file 13, all that stuff.
So for those on that are going to listen to this, Chuck and I happen to know each other outside this TikTok session. Um, and I would never charge him because we just have that working relationship where we help each other with a whole bunch of different things. And it's almost with us, it's almost like a barter system where we help
Yeah.
each other. We don't charge each other, but we help and push each other up to the next level. So when I
Yeah.
bust his chops and say there'll be a bill, there won't be.
And if you did bill me, I will find a way to pay it.
No, nope, no bills, not
Yeah.
for you.
Because, as we know, nobody does anything for free. There's always a price
Correct.
tag for everything.
Correct.
And like you said it best, whether we barter, trade time, trade
Hmm.
documents, trade whatever,
Right.
we're helping
Hmm.
each other. And that's why I love what I do with this podcast.
Hmm.
I love helping each other. I love promoting businesses. I like air conversation on this Friday at 4, podcast series, because our goal is to help each other. And,
Yeah. That's
if somebody can get one thing out of one of these podcasts,
right.
my job is done.
Well,
And I
that's
feel so much better.
yeah, but that's why I keep saying in almost every show, we're just two guys talking. We're not sponsored. We're not tied to any big corporations. This is us because we truly want to help you, giving you our true feelings on stuff. And sometimes we say things that are not so popular, but you know what? Sometimes you got to tell the truth. You got to say it the way it is. And that's what you'll get from us is the truth.
Yep. And since you said that, if anybody listening wants to sponsor the show, hey, we're open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're open to it.
Yeah.
But that
Why
also,
not?
I mean, we're open to it. We'll put your name in lights and all that nonsense, but
Yeah.
it's not going to change how we do what we say because that's always going to be our true feelings and the truth. So yeah, that part will never change.
I think it's one thing I like about our conversation is that we are true. We don't lie, and we don't want to spread gossip. I think we keep it real. And like
Mm-hmm.
you said, it's just two guys
Yeah.
having a conversation that just we want to help
Right.
people grow and learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And like you said, if we can help one person, we've done our job.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we contact Steve? Steve Kent at
Nope. It's Steve at
Steve at
SteveKentFS.com.
there
And
you
you?
go. Chuck at QACteam.com. Look, if anybody wants to sponsor us, man, do it. And we're open for it,
Yeah. Let
Absolutely.
us
If you want
know.
to come on and join us on the show, we have spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come share your thoughts with us. We love to hear and bounce ideas off of other people as well.
Yep. We would. Yeah.
Love
We
it.
want to get you on. We want your opinions. We really do care what people are thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Steve, another great Friday at 4 podcast series because
It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
man, you're nailing it. Love it.
I'm getting there.
You're
I'll get
getting
it
it.
right
You're getting
at
it.
some point. Okay, but okay.
Love it. Love it.
All
Steve,
right.
enjoy the
Good
rest of
stuff.
the day.
You
Have a
too.
great weekend. We'll
You too.
talk soon. It's Valentine's Day. I know everybody's going to be busy
That's right. Happy
tonight.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to the audience. And we'll talk soon, Steve.
You got it. Thanks, Jeff. Take
See
care.
you, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
You've been watching the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent. Thanks for watching.